slashed back. She would be standing to her knees in a river of blood. She would turn her brown, agonized face toward me. It would be Mama. I would be shaking and screaming in my sweat. It was horrible. I could never cut the dream off until its end. It had to run its fearful course. The dreams about Mama came until her death. For a day or two following them, these dreams would recreate in daydreams. Sudden dark arrows of depression and regret would stab into that open sore in my mind. I would get high. The narcotics seemed to ward off like armor the stealthy arrows. After a week of rest and Mama's soul food, my color and strength came back. On a Saturday night, I decked myself out in one of the vines and topcoat I had bought the day before Delansky busted me. I remembered the pimp rundowns at the joint. I had learned my first step had to be a fast cop. I needed a horde to hit the city scene. I had to get on that fast track to pimping. I was only several months away from age 20. My baby face was gone. I was 6'2". I was thin as a greyhound on a crash diet. I went into an underworld bar, the 7-Eleven Club, crowded with pimps, whores, and thieves. I stood at the far end of the bar, stalling with a Coke. I faced the front door. I turned and asked the slightly familiar elephant beside me about weeping and party. He turned his head. His dime-sized eyes got stuck in my fly zipper as he looked me over head to toe. He remembered me. He said, "About a month ago, your Boone Coon party caught 60 in the county. One of them tight pussies opened his nose wide enough to drive a freight train through. He caught a stud whamming it into her. The stud quit the scene. The broad had to go to a croaker to get Party's shoe out of her ass." Then, after pausing to thumbnail a ball of snot from his trunk, he said, "Old Weeping fell dead outside a shooting gallery in St. Paul. Must have shot some pure, 'cause a lookout on the sidewalk heard him mumble before he croaked. Well, kiss my dead mammy's ass if this ain't the best smack I ever shot." The elephant again raised his hoof toward his filthy trunk. The sissy barkeep sat a fresh bottle of Coke on the log before me. I yanked my eyebrows into a question mark. He lisped, "The runty black bitch in the middle of the bar sent you a taste." Without taking my eyes off his thin yellow face, I said, "Sugar, run her down to me. Is the bitch qualified? Is she a whore? Does she have a man?" The corners of his mouth seesawed. He slugged his soggy, dirty ball rag against my reflection on the bat top. He almost whispered, "The bitch ain't nothing but a young skunk from St. Louis. She ain't nothing but a jazzy jive whore. I'm more whore than she is. She ain't got no man. She's a cum freak. She's Georgia 3 bullshit pimps since she got here a month ago. If your game is strong, you could play a hog out of her ass. She ain't but 18. I eased a bone from my pocket, put it on the bar for the fresh Coke. I frantically remembered those pimp rundowns in the joint. I said, "Tell the bitch no dice. I'll take care of the little things, and if she's qualified, maybe I'll let her take care of the big things. Give the bitch a drink on me." On the jukebox, Ella Fitzgerald was crying about her little yellow basket. The barkeep twinkle-toed toward her with the wire and drink. Through the blue mirror, I zeroed my eyes in on the target. My ass bones starched on stiff point. Her big peepers were 2 sexy dancers in the velvet midnight of her cute Pekingese face. Hot scratch fever streaked through me. I thought, if I could cop her and get a pimp's terms, she would be out-of-pocket poison to all white tricks that pinned her. Those pimps back in the joint sure knew basic horology. I was glad my ears had flapped to all those rundowns. They had said, Chase a whore, you get a chump's weak cop. Stalk a whore, you get a pimp strong cop. My turn down of her measly first offer had her jumpy. It was a slick, sharp hook twisting in the bitch's mind. Her juicy tongue darted out like a red lizard past her ivory teeth. It slithered over the full lips. She wiggled toward me in an uneven race with the barkeep. He was sliding her green drink between me and the elephant. I heard a low, excited trumpeting in the trunk of the elephant. He had dug her flawless props and gourmet rear end. It was rolling inside her glove-tight white dress. I painted a lukewarm, indifferent grin on my face as she perched on the stool. I noticed a roll of scratch wedged deep between the black peaks. She said, "Who the hell are you, and what is that off-the-wall shit you cracked on the bartender?" My eyes were sub-zero spotlights on her face. I said, "Bitch, my name is Blood, and my wire wasn't off the wall. It was real like me. Bitch, you sure got a filthy, sassy job. It could get your ass ruptured." The big vein at the temple in the tiny dog face quivered. Her rapper was shrill. She bleated, "I ain't no bitch. I'm a motherfucking lady. The stud ain't been pulled out of his mammy's womb that kicks my ass. God damn it, call me Phyllis. Be a gentleman and respect me. I'm a lady." The icy blast busted the thermostat in my spotlights. I could feel my cool spit on my lips as I roared, "You stinking black bitch, you're a fake. There's no such thing as a lady in our world. You either got to be a bitch or a faggot and drag. Now, bitch, which is it? Bitch, I'm not a gentleman. I'm a pimp. I'll kick your funky ass. You gave me first lick? Bitch, you're creaming to eat me up. I'm not a cum freak, you are. I'm a freak to scratch." My blast had her moved. Those joint rundowns sure worked. I could see those sexy dancers were hot as hell there in the midnight. She was trying to conceal from me the freakish, pain-loving bitch inside her. She was comical, like that fire and brimstone preacher. He was trying to hide his hard-on from the cute sister in the front pew flashing her cat for him. The broad was speechless. I had called all the shots. I turned toward the crapper. As I walked away, I bombed her. I said, "Bitch, I'm splitting when I come out of that crapper. I know your pussy is jumping for me. I know you want me for your man. Some lucky bitch is going to steal me from you. You better toss that bullshit out of your mind. Get straight, bitch, and tell me like it is on my way out. You had your chance. After tonight, you don't have any." Inside the crapper, I ripped a wad of paper from its holder. I wrapped the sawbuck and the 4 singles around it. Whatever happened out there, I had to show a bankroll. I stood there in the crapper. I was letting the heat seep deep into that bitch out there. Was I going to cop my first whore? My crotch was fluttery at the thought of it. I walked out of the crapper. She was outside the door. I almost trampled her. I ignored her. I walked to the bar to pay my light tab. She was peering over my shoulder. I peeled the sawbuck off. I told the barkeep, "Steal the change and cop a hog." His bedroom gray eyes sparkled. His delicate pinky scooted the sawbuck back to me across the log. He said, "Sweetie, it's on me. Come back at 2 and cop a real girl." She tugged at my sleeve, and I turned from the bar. She looked up at me. Those dancers had stripped. I looked down at the hot runt and said, "Well, bitch, it's your move. Do I cut you loose?" She grabbed my shoulder. She pulled me down toward her. I could feel her hot breath on the side of my head. She popped that lizard tongue into my ear, almost to my eardrum. It sent hot shivers through me. I stayed cool. I turned my head and knifed my teeth into the side of her neck. I don't know why she didn't bleed. She just moaned. Then she whispered, "You cold-blooded, sweet motherfucker. I'll go for you. Let's go to my pad and rap." We walked to the slammer. I glanced back. The elephant was staring at us. His tongue was Frenching his chops. His trunk was twitching for a party. On the sidewalk, she handed me the key to her yellow 36 Ford. I was lucky. I had been taught to drive the laundry truck back in the joint. The Ford's motor sang a fine tune. It wasn't a pimp's wheels, but it sure would make the trip to the city track. I drove to her pad. On the way, she played on me. She was setting me up for the Georgia. That lizard through my ear was a speedway. It did 100 laps inside it. I was still green. I shouldn't have let her touch me. A pad was a trap for suckers, all right. She had pasted luminous white stars on the hotel room's blue ceiling. There was one blue light. It glowed sexily from behind a 3-foot plastic copy of Rodin's The Kiss. There was a mirror over the bed. There were mirrors on the walls flanking the bed. There was a polar bear rug gleaming whitely in front of a blue chaise lounge. I sat on the lounge. She flipped on the portable record player. Ellington rippled out. Mood indigo. She slipped into a cell-sized bathroom. Its door was half shut. The Peak was digging a washcloth into her armpits and cat. She was nude. She sure was panting to swindle me out of my youth. I wondered if and where she had stashed that roll of scratch. She came out belly dancing to the indigo sex booster. She was a runt Watusi princess. Her curvy black body had the sheen of seal skin. I had one bitch of a time remembering the dialogue that covered this kind of situation. What had the pimps in the joint said? "You gotta back up from them fabulous pussies. You gotta make like you don't have a swipe. You gotta keep your mind on the scratch. Stay cold and brutal. Cop your scratch first. Don't let 'em Georgia you. They'll laugh at you. They'll cut you loose like a trick after they flim-flammed you. Your scratch cop is the only way to put a hook in their stinking asses." She danced toward the head of the bed. She stooped over and raised the edge of the red carpet. Her rear end swayed to the indigo. It was grinning at me. It was theater in the round, for sure. She danced toward me. She had 2 thin reefers in her hand. That box at the side of the bed had rejected, and indigo was encoring. She stood between my legs. Even through the trouser cloth,